Well, the United Nations General Assembly isn't just about international diplomacy, it's also about alleviating the effects of natural disasters. And there have been quite a few in recent months, including an earthquake in Morocco and catastrophic flooding in Libya. Let's speak to Caroline Holt from the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies. Your organisation's had its hands full, hasn't it, in recent months?
Well, thank you for inviting me to speak, and yes, you're quite right. Certainly the last couple of months have been incredibly intense, but also this isn't new for us as an international response organisation, and national societies around the world are constantly responding to disaster in their context. It just so happens that these two that you mention have really hit the headlines and of course created huge human loss. And I think that's a really important message that we need to remember.
With your experience of these sorts of disasters, would you say that the situation is getting worse, and is climate change related to that?
I think when we look at Storm Daniel in Libya and the impact there, absolutely. We know that climate science has come back with a recent report saying that this event was 50 times more likely to have happened as a result of a warming climate. And of course we can then see the human loss as a direct consequence of that.
But of course these disasters have been happening for centuries. Is it fair to pin it on climate change, would you say?
Well, of course, it's a number of events, but really this particular event should be a wake-up call to the world. We know that, as I say, this event was far more intense as a result of the consequences of climate change. It doesn't happen in isolation, as you suggest, and it also is about ensuring that we have sufficient investment in infrastructure, that we're not building on floodplains, that we are really allowing nature to continue to do its bit. We are, as humans, continuing to show greater exacerbated events as a result of human action, and we really would call upon governments to understand what their role is in this and call for international solidarity to support these people that have been impacted as a result of this event.
Well, you're here at the UN, so in theory at least you've got the ear of the world's leaders. What in specific terms do you want from them?
We want to continue really to call for that international solidarity. The impacts of these particular events are not going to go away anytime soon. It will be a long-term process in terms of supporting these communities back on their feet, but we're really asking for the international community to really fulfill their commitments towards reducing the emissions, towards ensuring that climate adaptation financing is reaching those local actors on the ground who are the first responders, and really that as an international community we are tackling that loss and damage agenda.
And briefly, how optimistic are you that you're going to get what you want from them?
I maintain optimism. That's my job as well, but I do believe that with impacts such as we're seeing, we can't afford to ignore this any longer.
Caroline Holt, thank you very much indeed. And with that, from New York, back to you.